Hello, we got another NG7M installment here. I've been hard at it here on Labor Day weekend, and it's coming along. What you can see here is the standoff arms from, again, this is these are sold by KF7P. He has specific models for different towers, and this is the LM-470. So you can see, as far as the coax and control wire is concerned, I've got that looped through the loops here. Comes down over here, and up on the top he makes this really nice curved top standoff where the coax just lays down, and then I'm going to let the coax hang. I'm not going to tie it off at every standoff, and just because the tower will be up most of the time. Anyway, you can see what I did here. And up here I actually taped and then used high quality ties and then taped again. And then I've got my loop here, the rotor loop. This is about an 8-inch loop, and I just read some stuff from K7 VM, I think. Or is it NV? Anyway, I like this style of loop. It's just clean. It'll be fine. And with the tower tilted over, I've got kind of a relief on the 10-foot section of the tower coming off the top here while I'm working on it. And here you can get a good shot of the NN4ZZ tilt plate. And so you can see how this works right now. I don't have the fiberglass elements on. That's the job for today. But you can see how it keeps the antenna horizontal when the tower's tilted over. And then as the tower goes up, it's going to tilt up, obviously, like this. And this is the car lock device. I don't know that I really needed this, but it makes me feel good. When the tilt over plate is in the vertical position, the wind can still move it around. And the car lock, I think it was designed by a guy's suffix of his call is KAR, if I remember right, is a 6. Anyway, when this comes up, if I had 3 hands, I'd actually show you how it works. But this will hang down, and then you'll see that it hooks onto that loop right there, and it'll keep the antenna from moving. It'll move a little bit still, but it won't move drastically. But then when you tilt the tower over, gravity drops the hook out of the way, and it can tilt over. So, just to give you an idea of a little easier to see on the EHUs, the element housing units on the end here, what I did to tie them down. I went with these high quality zip ties. They have a metal, they actually tie with a metal clasp. Let me get it focused there. But you can see how I did all the tying on this. Right here, going back to the tilt plate, and it's still been hot. Yesterday it got to 95. Today it's supposed to be 95. So you can also see I painted the. This is a used antenna. I painted the fiberglass tubes outside the EHUs. The EHUs are actually new. These have not been up. So there you can see the tie down job there. And I also have the trusses for the 40-meter trombones. Doesn't do much any more than the looks. I'll match the height of the driven element. This is the DB-18, not the DB-18E, so I have 2 40-meter trombones. Anyway, so here, coming around to the other side of the tilt plate, you can see how I mounted the control cable box. I just used an extra saddle clamp, because you have a bunch left over after you get the tilt plate. And got some bolts here, and I think it turned out pretty nice. So the control box is right on the face of that tilt plate. And there's lots of extra holes in the tilt plate, so that makes it nice to tie cables to. So this is the feed line coming in, or excuse me, no, this is the control line coming in. So you can see how I decided to tie it onto the mast. And then of course this is the mast truss up there. And here's the control box. I can get that to, there we go. Nice and clean. Pretty happy with that. This is the you know, you could test here with there's a D-sub DB-25 there. So I tested it a couple times. Everything's checking out. And that's the car lock that I showed you on the other side. And then here you have the relay box for the switching of the elements to do. You know, you can reverse the beam with a push-a button, which is really cool. So anybody familiar with the SteppIR will understand that. And so you can see the coax coming in here, and then this is the feed line coming in, and then you can see what I did here. And the sun's kind of peeking through up there. Hopefully that'll look okay. And anyway, back to here's the driven element EHU. Can I get a shot there? And I'm going to come around. Well, I'll hurry and get the director side. Started at the reflector side. So there you can see the fiberglass tube painted with the top side Rust-oleum paint. I've got videos on that. And you just kind of see how I tied everything in. Not a lot of tape. We're going to see how those zip ties work. If I have problems, I'll just pull the antenna down and tape them up. But that's been nice. So here's the director element housing unit, or EHU. And that's about it. Come out of here, get the sun on my back. And kind of give you a shot of everything from this side. And you can see how I looped around. This is the driven element. I redid all the coax. This is LM-470 with amphenol connectors, and you can see how I sealed it up here. Taped it up with Scotch 88, and then put on Scotch seal, which is nice. It's, in my opinion, it's much better than the coax seal because it's easier to cut off. And then I went over it with another layer of 88 there, and so they're, you know, to some degree an overkill. Oh, one thing to mention here, these shrink tubes, well worth the, I saw them on DX Engineering, and really nice. For those familiar with building a SteppIR, they're like mini shrink tubes that go on the fiberglass tubes. They're actually glued, so you can see, I don't know if you can see that in the video. Hopefully you can. Try to get it to focus. But anyway, once you heat it up enough, you can see the glue on the inside seals itself to the coax outer jacket of the coax. Really nice. I'll be using those again in the future. And again, kind of get this back side of the N4ZZ. This is actually the biggest N4ZZ plate, so that gives you a reference. It's a stackable version, and I mean, if I was going to spend that kind of money, I was going to plan for the future, and eventually maybe I'll take the N4ZZ plate, move it down, get another smaller one, and either put the same antenna at the top or move it down to the bottom, and I'll, you know, stack a couple other antennas for my postage stamps, you know, station here. and I may have mentioned it in another video, my lot is 160 by 100 feet. So from that corner of the house back over to the far corner, which I don't know if you can see that, back there, and you can see the big IR in the distance here. I've had this up for 8 years, I don't know, 9 years, I can't remember, but it's worked well, and I've got a really good radial system in for that. Anyway, I'm digressing backwards here. Anyway, so 100 feet from there to there, and then 160 feet out to the front of the house. And there's the shack, there's the entry panel, and back to the base of the tower. This is the LM-470, that's the tilt-over mechanism, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm putting the sweep ends on the fiberglass tubes this morning, and I'll be getting those fiberglass tubes on, and we'll try to get another video up very close to putting the antenna up and getting it on the air here. I was delusional about thinking about, getting it on the air Saturday morning. I took a couple days off Thursday and Friday. I worked all day Thursday, Friday, and I just wasn't going to make it for the CWT or the CWT Open contest. So not to worry, there's plenty of other contests, and we're in September, so the timing's good for all this. Thanks for watching, and 1 or 2 more videos and I think I'll be done. Bye.